morning, folks. This be a little off-topic. Which I've talked about this in the past a little bit, but never made a whole video about it. And it's pointed at those people that just come out of a haze. They went to the grocery store or the gas station, took a look at their bank account, said, you know, I think something's wrong. Decide to turn on the news or look a little bit, find out that, wow, we're in pretty bad economic trouble. And there's people out there right now laughing.
Continue on round.
But those people exist. And trust me, there's a whole big segment of the population today that still don't realize anything's wrong. They know they're paying high gas prices because of those greedy oil companies. The milk's more expensive because of those greedy dairies. But that's all they know. But in case you haven't figured it out yet, yeah, we're in pretty bad economic trouble, and it's getting worse by the minute. We're about to run into some pretty severe shortages over the summer on the basics. I don't know if y'all have heard or seen or read or anything about it, but right now we're going through a big shortage on baby formula. Now, how scary would that be? You have your little bitty chrome cruncher and you go to the store and they ain't got no formula. You ain't got no formula in the cabinet at home because you waited till you ran out to go buy some. And that's the first habit you're going to have to break. People say that, oh, Big John, I eat out all the time. I don't keep my food in the house. Well, you better start. This is 5 things that you need to do just to basically kind of get ready for what's coming. By no means is it a definitive list. It's just 5 things to set you on the path to getting yourself ready for, like I say, what's coming. Number 1, stock up. Now, I'm not talking about emptying everything out of your garage and filling to the brim with canned goods. But just some basics that you can do quickly and cheaply. You ever hear an old person talk about, you know, when they're poor, they eat nothing but beans and rice? Well, that's a lot of them old sayings. They have truth in them. They came from something. A lot of people don't know it, but the pinto bean is a superfood. You could eat pinto beans the rest of your life and be healthy. They got almost all the nutritional value you need, not only to survive, but to be healthy. And then rice is a filler. Both you can buy cheaply. They're easy to store. They don't go bad easily. and they'll keep for a very long time. And they're easy to prepare. As long as you can boil water, you can make beans and rice. But that's not the only thing you need to stock up on. Take any prescription medicine for anything. If you can get extra, get extra. Basic healthcare supplies, you know, first aid stuff like peroxide, ibuprofen, or aspirin, or Tylenol, or whatever. Band-aids, bandages. Because all that stuff be the first stuff to go. And don't forget about your pets. You know, buy old Fido a couple extra flea collars, or if you use Frontline, you know, keep a couple boxes on hand, or food's not a big deal for them. They'll generally eat what you eat. If they get hungry enough, they'll eat it. Any other supplies that you just got to have, one reason or another. Ladies out there, their feminine products. I ain't saying you gotta buy cases and cases and cases of this stuff. Just somebody gets you through about 30 to 60 days. Because when we hit bottom, we'll bounce back pretty quick. Or we should. Like I say, just the basics for now. I mean, now you get your good supply of the basics, you can start expanding. But for now, just the basics. The basics are you gotta have food in your belly. You gotta have a roof over your head. And like I said, if there's any medicines or anything you take, you gotta have those. Funny thing is, after you eat pinto beans and rice for 60 days and not a bunch of junk, of course you're going to end up quitting smoking and dipping and everything else. You ain't going to have none of that. You'd be amazed how healthy you get. You might not even need those prescriptions anymore. Number 2, do your damnedest to get yourself out of debt. And this is a financial preparedness thing, just to make your life better. I was always a firm believer, if you owed somebody something, that means if you don't pay it, they can come and take something from you. So get out of debt. Credit cards, I like Dave Ramsey's system, where you take the smallest one and you pay the minimum payments on all your cards except the smallest one. And the smallest one, you pay everything you pay on it. And when it's paid off, well, then you move up to the next smallest one. And he calls it the snowball effect, because the second smallest one, you'll be able to pay even more because first one is paid off. Then you go to the third one. Get your credit cards paid off, work on your cars, house, whatever. House is always last, but cars, loans, things like that. And included in this, get out of debt, is quit spending frivolous money. You don't need to go to St. Thomas for 2 weeks. You don't need that new Xbox. You've got to get yourself into survival mode. And all the pleasures in life end at that point until things return to normal. You know, all the extra subscription services and stuff you got for every streaming service on the planet. Go get a few of those. And once you do get some extra money on hand, maybe stock you up a little bit of cash in the house. You know, mason jar in the backyard, whatever. Just a little emergency fund that you have on hand. Not in the bank, on hand. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little something. There may become a day that that debit card don't work. Yeah, that's number 2. Get out of debt and stop spending stupid money. Number 3. Don't already know how, learn how to and acquire the means to defend yourself. Because you might find out, no, you will find out, that sweet neighbor you've lived next to for 20 years, or those people you thought were your friends, aren't so sweet and nice when their kids are hungry. A hungry man will do very extraordinary things. Big John, I never had a gun in my life. I wouldn't know how to use one. Well, there's lots of help in that endeavor. In the first place, the easiest way to do it, either go down to your local gun shop, not sporting goods, don't go to Dick's. I'm talking about an actual gun shop where they sell guns. And ask the guy that owns the place, you know, I'm new in this and I want to get a little bit of education so I can make a smart decision.
Continue on route.
And he will have 100 different resources for gun safety classes, self-defense classes. He will help you. Because the last thing he wants you to do is buy something you don't know how to use, go home, get to fiddling with it, and shoot yourself. That wouldn't, that just wouldn't do good on his image or his conscience. there's how you get over that hurdle, and they're usually very inexpensive. Usually it's a law enforcement officer or some ex-military that's giving those classes on the weekends it's their side hustle. They're making a little extra money. You treat 10 people, you charge 10 people $50 for a 4-hour course. Well, a little bit of money, good side hustle. Like I say, when people start getting hungry and they can't run through the McDonald's drive-thru to get them something to eat, or down to the grocery store because the shelves are empty, you'll find out a lot of them people you call friends aren't your friends. Like the old saying goes, it's better to have the means to defend yourself and the knowledge and not need it than to need it and not have it. Now, I'm not saying things are going to get that bad, but I would prepare yourself like they are. But like I say, I'm not saying build you up a whole armory, 50,000 rounds of ammunition. A good short barrel tactical 12 gauge pretty much do the trick. Cheap, ammunition's cheap for them. Plus, like I told my daughter when she asked me a question about getting a home defense weapon, is nothing in this world says leave me the hell alone like racking a 12 gauge pump. That is a sound that everybody, you go to countries where they don't even allow guns, and everybody knows that sound, and it carries. In a quiet house, you can hear it from one end of that house to the other. And with, like I say, with double-aught buck, it's just basically point it in a general direction and pull the trigger. It'll do the job. Number 4. Start informing yourself. Start paying attention. And be real careful here, because like you can go, let's say, to CNBC right now, and they're rah, 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 buy, buy, buy. Market's on sale. The market's in a downward spiral. Stay the hell away from it. But they can't say that because nobody'd watch them. You need to buy this stock. Coca-Cola's looking really good. It's, if you stay informed and then watch that stuff, you'll sit back and belly laugh. Because every guest they bring on, you'll be like, this guy's done fell and bumped his head. No, go and look around the internet and kind of find you some sites that'll learn you how, and some reliable news sources. one I use is Free Republic Revolver. They basically just take stories in from other places. You know, they that, you know, aren't propaganda, and put them all in one place so it's easy to navigate through. And don't listen to the politicians. Because God knows they're lying to you. They're lying to you in good times. But inform yourself, learn. You know, you can go around and start learning about things, you know, just basic survival things, skills it's going to be good to have anyway. Learn how to start a fire. Learn how to maybe live off the land a little bit. Learn how to grow a garden. Those are skills, valuable skills. It will serve you the rest of your life, even in the good times. But yes, inform yourself. Keep up with current events. That way you're not just blindsided when it all goes to hell. Then you're trying to run through and do all these 5 things in a day. Now, I know there's a bunch of people out there that blow me off and, oh, it's fine, John, ain't nothing wrong, we're just going through a rough patch. Those will be the first ones to stand on your door with their hand out. Just gotta take that last beach vacation. I need them rims on my car. You know the type. Number 5, and this is going to be where a lot of people screw up. Keep a low profile. Don't be talking to your neighbor and say, hey, I watched this video and this guy makes a lot of sense. I started stocking up. I got been stocking up all this stuff in my garage. Come look. All goes to hell. You act like you got it just as bad off as everyone around you.
Continue on route.
It'd take them a few weeks to realize they're getting skinny and you ain't. Once again, you got friends and you got acquaintances, and then you got just people you know. When it all goes to hell, trimming that friends list on Facebook will be real easy. You're gonna find out real quick who's got your back and who will stab you in the back. Don't be advertising what you got. Don't be advertising you're preparing. Because all you're doing is telling people where to come get stuff when they're hungry. They might be just a little quicker on the trigger than you are. that's pretty much, that's good basic, and by no means is it a definitive list. This list is different for everybody. You know what your needs are. By needs, I really going to look in the mirror and figure out what needs and wants are. What do I need to get by? There's a situation like this, there'll be a lot of successful people ruined. There's going to be a lot of ruined people that will be very successful out the other side because they're sitting in the right place. So if you're out there at the Sea-Doo dealership looking at a new jet ski, stop. Figure out what's important in your life and do what you need to do to protect it. By no means am I professional in survival or prepping or anything like that. I wouldn't even call what I do prepping. I'm more equipped for a pretty good bump in the road. But I just kind of felt led to get out there and make a video about the state of our world and what you need to do to protect you. But like I say, if you have any questions, put it in a comment down below. Tell me I'm an idiot and a fool. I don't care. I've been called worse by better people. Like and subscribe if you will. Like I say, this is primarily a trucking channel, but I do tend to venture off on other subjects. But keeping up with the trucking channel isn't bad, because like I said, information. I do a number of videos on the state of the supply chain, what's happening in the supply chain, and that is a very important thing to know. And right now, if you've got an infant, it'd be very important to know that there's currently a nationwide shortage on baby formula, and it's getting a lot worse. I'm gonna go out and get you a couple cases. Y'all have a fine day. I'll catch you on the flip side.